Two girls, a whole lot of books, and even more to say about them. I'm Tor.
And I'm Bronte.
And this is Girls Unplugged.
We're here for all things bookish, from recommendations and book-to-screen adaptations
to spilling the tea on all the latest community drama and news.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow along.
Hey guys, welcome back. Can you believe that today is the final episode of season 3? We will let you know at the end of the episode when season 4 is coming, but today we are going to talk about our 26 for 2026, how we're getting on with it, what's been good, what's been bad, all of that kind of stuff. And guys, I'm actually out of my slump now. So hopefully I'm going to be able to actually partake properly like we used to. But I thought we would start with just a quick general reading update, if that works for you, Tor. Since I am out of my slump, I actually have books from this month and July that I can talk about.
Okay, so do you want me to go? Do you want to go? What are you currently reading? What are you loving? How do you want to go?
You go first, because you've had some really good books.
I have had some really, really good books recently. This month, I think I'm already on like 7 books read, or maybe even 8, and I'm currently reading another 2. So I reckon we might have like an old school, like 24, 25 type month this month. So far this month, Free Falling was a great book for me. I got a proof from Quekis for that, and it was, I know that you didn't like Soul Searching as much, but I really enjoyed this as much as I liked Soul Searching. So that was a great read. But also I randomly, on a bit of a whimsy day, picked up Shield of Sparrows recently. And I know it was like a hugely hyped book talk book. So it was one of those ones that I just kind of was like, park it. It could actually be nothing. And I randomly picked it up physically, which I never do anymore. Couldn't put it down. And what else? Oh, I read... I mean, we know I've been reading a lot of cowboy romance this summer, but I picked up randomly one called Cowboy Casual this week. You would hate it. I know for a fact you would hate it, but I bloody loved it. So that was a nice surprise as well. I don't think that there's anything else that's been like a really standout amazing, but you know what my memory is like. It could have been loads of things.
Yeah. I'm intrigued though. Why do you think I'll hate it? Is it just like super smutty?
It's just a bit cheesy. Like even when I first started reading it, I was like, the writing wasn't ideal. But then there was just, and even while I was reading it, I was like, oh, parts of this, some of the bits are a bit cheesy. But you know, like sometimes when you're reading a book, you know that the writing isn't great, but there's just something about the way that the chemistry between the characters, it just like sparks off an actual like chemical reaction in your brain that you're like, the chemistry between these two characters is so good, I can't stop reading. It was kind of like that. And it is quite smutty. Like it's kind of medium burn. You know, they're into it by just over 50%. But once the smut starts, it's kind of like every other chapter. So the second half I was a bit more bored, but I just really enjoyed it. It was easy because I'm listening to The Poisoned Daughter at the same time, which is a really big book again, and it's beefy and there's a lot going on. So it was kind of nice to have the contrast of just like easy to kind of like put down, easy to read kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I am also doing really well, guys, this month. Everyone give me a pat on the back. I have read 5 books so far in August, which is more than like I'd read in February, March and April combined. Do you know what I mean? Like some months I was only doing 1 or 2 books, so I'm doing well. And we've
still got over a week to go at the time of filming this, so you got time.
Yeah, and we've got a bank holiday too, so extra reading time. I have this month, I'm going to be honest, I haven't read anything that's new that I've loved. Each of the books that I've read that are new releases or new to me have just been mediocre. So that's The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, which is all over Book Talk. Everybody is loving them. They kind of have everyone's been talking about them. They kind of have like a Bridgerton vibe, but I didn't love it. I just found it super boring. I don't know if it's because I did it on audio. Maybe I'll try and read the next one. They're really, really short, so it's like easy to get through. But I also did Daybreak, which I'll talk a bit about later. Didn't hate, just didn't love as much as Nightshade. And then I am reading Wyatt right now, which is the next book in the Lucky Ranch series, which is the one that I introduced Tor to, and she overtook me and completed in like a week, which always happens. And I am enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. But last month, I also read quite a lot of books. I think I did 7 or 8 overall last month, and 3 were 5 stars. So I did.
What were they?
Yeah. So I did oh God, trying to say this name is a nightmare. The Exquisite Torment of Falling for Your Enemy, which is obviously the sequel to
The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy.
Yes, because I always just want to say the original fanfic name, which is The Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love. Book 1 of that was like 4.5, but book 2 was even better, and I just absolutely loved it. It's just like everything I love in romantasy. It had like witty banter, it had tension, it had slow burn. There was so many beautifully written quotes as well that I just kept highlighting and highlighting all the way through. Like, it was perfect. So that was one. And then the next one was a bit different. It was Fame Sick by Lena Dunham. And it's an autobiography. If you don't know who Lena Dunham is, she is both an actress, but also primarily a writer and director. She wrote and directed the TV show Girls when she was super young. Like, it was a big thing in the industry because of how young she was. To get greenlit this like 6-season long Hollywood TV show. But also she is best friends with Taylor Swift, so a lot of you might know her from that. But the book is about her experience in her like 20s as she directed Girls and working with Adam Driver, but also it's about her development of her chronic illness. And what she ended up being diagnosed with was Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and also endometriosis and a bunch of other things. And she has it really severely. Like, she's had to have a whole hysterectomy, and just she's gone through a lot of medical trauma. So I really enjoyed that, and I did it on audio, and she narrates it herself, which I always think adds like kind of extra investment in someone's life story. So I loved that. And then I also reread the Cruel Prince series, which is what pulled me out of the slump. So 5 stars. Thank you.
Love this for you.
Yeah, it was so good. But I've done tons of good books. Like, we could do a whole episode just on that, to be honest. I'd be here all day if I spoke about them all.
We don't have all day.
We don't.
So 26 for 26. I feel like we do one of these every year, and I never really do very well against them. How many of your 26 for 26 have you read? And if anyone doesn't know what 26 for 26 is, like we did last year, you pick 26 books for the year of 2026 that you want, like they're kind of like your goal to read for the year.
Yeah, your priority TBR, I suppose. So I'm like Tor. Normally I'm really, really bad at it because I'm such a mood reader that honestly I don't follow them that much. But this year, when I made my 26 for 2026, I did it in categories, which was like new releases, auto by authors, book talks best, and then recommended by friends. And I think that has helped me this year because I've read 6 so far.
Okay.
Which is obviously not many out of 26, given we're over halfway through the year. However, when you consider my slump and I've only read 30 books, it's a decent amount, I would say. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, 6 books. How about you?
10.
That's good. That's really
It is. I think that I don't really know what I was thinking when I did my 26 for 26. When I look back at it, like I was looking at it yesterday, like in preparation to record today, and I was just like, what was I thinking at some of this? I feel like sometimes when I do these things, I'm just like in a rush to get it done, and I just throw things in there. Or maybe it's just like the mood I'm in at the time, because like you, I am a mood reader. So yeah, I think when I do my 27 for 27, what are we going to do when it's like 50 for 2050.
I honestly
Stop
don't know.
at that point.
We're going to have to go back to like 5.
Yeah, there's quite a few on there that I'm just really like not naffed about now. So we'll see how I get on by the end of the year with it.
Well, should we start by going through the ones we have read that we did enjoy?
Yeah.
So the successes of our 26 for 2026 so far.
I'll start and I'll go through my standouts. We don't need to go through everything, but the ones I absolutely loved. The first one I've got down is Breathe With Me by Becca Mack. We've spoken about that, I think, a couple of times on the pod this year. I've spoken about it a lot on my socials. It was so good. I love all of the books in that series, but especially that one. It's very poignant. Like, it's just very emotional, like 5-star, Infinity Star romance read for me. And then also romance-wise, Love Song by Elle Kennedy. I feel like Campus Diaries lost its way a little bit after the Graham Effect. And I think like the mix of like knowing that Off Campus was coming out also while I was reading Love Song, it all just felt very exciting. So I really enjoyed that. It kind of went back to that banteriness that we got in the original Off Campus series.
Yeah.
So loved. And then the 2 fantasy books I've got as my standouts is Light Wielder by Rachel Schneider, which is the sequel to Metal Slinger, for those that don't know. I was really worried about this because it's only a duology, and I think it can be really hard to get a duology right because you're trying to fit like a whole story into only 2 books, aren't you? So I was a bit nervous. I didn't love it as much as I loved Metal Slinger, but I think she finished the story really well. I think the thing that let it down a bit for me was I wanted to see more of the magic.
Yeah.
But it was still really good. Loved it.
I didn't know that one is only a duology.
So I think that it's going to be a bit like Serpent and the Wings of Night. And I think it's going to be multiple like couples of duologies that are based on a couple, because there was a bit at the end which was very much like we're clearly getting more stories in this world, but that story was definitely closed off. So I need to look into it, and I haven't seen any announcements about it, but it could just be that I've missed something. But that's the vibe I got from the end of Light Wielder.
Interesting. Okay.
And then my final standout, fantasy-wise, on my 26 is Cindervale, which is book 3 in the Sins of the Zodiac series by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. It's like Zodiac Academy. It just gets more addictive, and the characters get more stressful and entertaining. Loved it. Can't wait for, I think the last book's going to be called Oracle Bay. I know that a couple of their books have been pushed back a bit, so I'm not actually sure when we're getting it. But it's going to be in 27. So that will definitely be on my 27 for 27. And you read that series. I
do. And I think it's been pushed back by like 2 months or something like that, right? I saw it on their newsletter.
I can't remember.
I remember it's not too crazy.
It's not too much because they pushed back Lightwing as well, which is the sequel to
Hollow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, you've had much more success with your 26 for 2026 than me, because I only have one that I really loved, which is The Exquisite Torment, which I've already spoken about.
Yeah.
The other ones on my list, it's not that I didn't like them. I did like them, but they either weren't the best in their series or they just didn't live up to the expectation I had of them. So really, The Exquisite Torment is actually the only one that like matched or exceeded expectations. In fact, it did exceed them, because book 1 was 4.5, but this is 5. And like I said, I just loved everything about it. I've already spoken about the aspects that I loved, but obviously we all know as well that I loved back in the day, like 2 years ago, I was reading a lot of Hermione fan fiction. A lot. Like, I think there was 1 month where I read 16 fics, guys. It's just the best enemies to lovers ever. So I do like that it has that aspect of it as well. So yeah, that's the only one that I've loved on my 26 for 2026 so far.
I don't know why, I just don't feel drawn to reading that series. Do you think I'll enjoy it?
I think you would enjoy it, but I don't know if it'd be 5 stars, but I think you would enjoy it because it's quite funny.
Yeah, okay.
They
I do love
remind,
good, but if it's got like really, like you were just saying earlier, like witty banter, like I think that was what in the days when I actually liked the first, what was a book, Powerless,
yeah.
the banter in that is what I think pulled me. Like the story, I didn't like it after the first book because I just found it boring. But the banter between the two main characters was really good, and it's the same in quite a few like fantasy books that I like. If that couple's got that like really like harsh bantery kind of vibe, it makes me laugh.
You will like it
Pulls me
then.
in.
And Osric is like a really great MMC. He's really good because he's an assassin for hire. So
Okay.
it's like that vibe of burn the world down for everyone but her sort of thing. Or
Mm-hmm.
like burn the world down for her, but like hurt everyone but her.
Yeah.
It's good. They're little and there's only two of them. That's it. It's
I
done.
thought that they were quite chunky.
No, then I've got it on my shelf over here and it's literally like the same. It's a bit smaller than Blood over Brighthaven.
Okay, okay, fine. That makes me more inclined to pick it up. I'll
Yeah, I
think
don't know
about
what the audio is like as well, but if it's got good narration, I can imagine it'd be quite funny to listen
it.
to.
Hmm.
So that could be an option. But yeah,
Okay, I'll give that a go. Okay, so you only had one standout, but you've read six. So what were your like serious letdowns then?
serious letdown is that there's only one really bad letdown, and that's
Mhm.
Fury Bound.
Okay.
And I have spoken about this in other episodes, but just in case you guys at home haven't heard those episodes, I hated it. There's no two ways about it. I've given it 2 stars. Originally, I gave it 3.75. Then I gave it 3. Now it's like a 2.5 because when I think about it, I only remember the bad stuff. And
Yeah.
at this point, I don't have any desire to read book 3 when it comes out. And I think I might sell my special editions. Haven't fully decided yet, but it's just so like book 1, don't get me wrong, it's not like Merrin was the best female main character ever, but
Yeah.
the plot was addictive, fast paced,
It was.
entertaining, kind of like Fourth Wing Zodiac vibes, right? It's not like the most complicated best thing ever, not the most original, groundbreaking, but it's fun and it's addictive.
Yeah, it's got that similar to what Fourth Wing and Zodiac Academy have in the fact that it reads so simply, it almost feels like a YA because it's so
Yeah.
easy to consume, but it's got those more like adult relationships and a bit more like violence and action. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
it did have that about it.
Yeah, that's a really good way to explain it. But book 2 was a lot slower paced, so it didn't have that addictive quality. And the main character, Merrin, she was just unbearable. She was so bad. She was so frustrating and like
Makes
immature and
me stressed.
annoying. And then, of course, you don't care about the high stakes, do you? Because you're not really caring what happens to her.
If you don't care about the main characters, you don't care about what else is going on because it
Yeah,
just overrules everything because they're in your face the whole time.
exactly. And even the romance just went downhill for me because it was just super repetitive. So, yeah, a massive
Okay.
disappointment.
Because Diabound and Fury Bound were both in my 26 to 26. And I obviously, Diabound was one of the first books I read at the beginning of the year
Hmm.
and loved it. But I have absolutely no desire to pick up Fury Bound, like whatsoever. It's one of those books that I'm like, I don't actually know if I'm gonna carry on reading it. And I don't know, I think it's because I've heard a lot of negativity around Fury Bound. It makes me nervous. I think it's the kind of thing that eventually I'll probably end up getting on audio and
Mm,
seeing how I feel about it rather than picking up the book.
that's a good idea, I think. Like, other people in our friendship group have enjoyed it more than I have, but I
Hmm.
haven't really seen anyone be like, wow, 4.5, 5 stars, you know?
Yeah. I've seen it's not just like our friendship group. I've seen a lot of people online whose opinions I really rate. I have very similar book taste with. Because when you don't like something, I don't take that as I'm not going to
Yeah.
like it because we have such different tastes a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But there are other people who I think have quite similar tastes to me that I follow online that really didn't like it either.
Mm,
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
So
Is
that
there
was your
any,
biggest letdown.
yeah, is there anything you've had a really big letdown with?
Do you know what? One was a big letdown in the fact that it was a series, and I've talked about both of these books on the pod before, so I'll keep it brief. But the first one was Wrath of the Dragons, which is the second book in Olivia Rose Darling's series. The first book was called Fear the Flames.
Hmm.
It was still okay. Like it wasn't bad, but it just suffered with that really typical second book syndrome, in my opinion. And it wasn't the end of the book was kind of what I imagined would happen at the end of a trilogy. I
Right.
wasn't expecting the ending, which kind of pulled it back a little bit for me. And it's opened up to book three could be super interesting. So
Mm.
it's not like how you feel about Direbound, Furybound kind of thing. But it was just disappointing because I expected greatness because when I read Fear the Flame, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, makes
And the
sense.
second book that was a letdown for me, more because of hype and because everyone had said to me, taught you of all people, you will love this book, was Heavenly Bodies. It just didn't
Mm.
hit the mark for me. I think people just kind of thought, Tor loves astrology, she's going to love this book. But actually, it's a very much like a romance driven fantasy as opposed to a plot driven fantasy, which normally they always end up being my least favorite
Mm.
like fantasy books. So it just didn't hit the nail on the head for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, other than what we've read and not liked, read and have liked, what are your priorities left on the list that you're desperate to get to?
So there's a few. The first one is Daybreak.
Hmm.
I definitely want to read that before the end of the year. But I'm kind of now that I plan to read it as soon as it released, but I was reading other things. So I'm going to save that for more of like autumn cozy vibes kind of day.
I think that is a good autumn read because it does definitely feel as autumnal, if not more than book one, I would
Hmm.
say, because the mood is quite dark.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I thought, as I haven't read it as soon as it's come out, I'm going to save it for hopefully a day where the kids are at their nan's or something, and I can just like cozy up on the sofa and read it in a day kind of thing.
Nice.
Um, and then series I really want to start, and that's the Kindred Curse saga. So the first
Spark
book
of
is
the,
Spark of the Everflame.
yeah.
Desperate to read it. Everyone's telling me I'm going to like it. Super, super, super slow burn romance. So that is a high priority for me before the end of the year. I'm also super keen because obviously it's getting turned into a show or a movie, isn't it? I can't remember
Yeah.
which.
Yeah, a
So I'd like,
show on Amazon, I think.
and I
And
also saw that it got like further kind of like green light in the last couple of days. So I'm like, right, I want to read that before we get any further with that. So I want to read that.
also for that one, people, I don't know if you remember, people who listen to this podcast voted that we should both read that one. We did a poll on one of the episodes and
Bloody really.
quite a few people said, yes, we should read it.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
more of a sign. It's
Yeah.
on the priority list, and I do think I will get to it.
Hmm.
I had the paperbacks as well, so I think I'm going to do what I did with Shield of Sparrows and just do a weekend where I'm having a bit of like phone free time, and I'm
Yeah.
going to pick up the physical book.
Hmm.
And then the other one is I've got on my list, but I've got another one along this kind of like vein that I want to read that's not on my 26 to 26, and that's To Cage a Wild Bird. Obviously,
Yes.
I'm not much of, I typically historically have not been a dystopian kind of gal, but Daggermouth, I was like, I fucking loved it. So that's one I missed off of when we were talking about current reads earlier that I've read recently and loved. But read Daggermouth recently, loved it. And I've got two other kind of dystopians on my priority TBR at the moment, and that's Silver Elite and To Cage a Wild Bird. So I don't know which one I'm going to pick up, but I definitely want to pick up one of those two books.
Or, guys, maybe she should do the dystopians that I recommend, that I've been telling her to read for years, like The Grace Year, which actually is more fantasy than dystopian. So you definitely like that one. And you would love The Blood Trials because it's very like, it's
I
similar
think I do
to,
actually have that first book, actually, you know.
yeah, I think you would love that book.
I
So,
only say the other two because I have them physically and I am
yeah.
trying to bring down my physical TBR rather than buy more, which I've
Yeah.
been quite good at this year.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being a brat.
I know. You bred a little minx, you.
Bratty Bronte, new name unlocked.
The bratty brontosaurus.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you prioritizing?
So I've got 4 priorities, and they're
Okay.
all newish or new releases. Light Wielder. I wanted to get to that as soon as it released, but because I was still slumpy, I didn't. But now that I'm out of my slump, I'm hoping to do that soon. The Ballad of Fallen Dragons. Again, I want to do that ASAP, but I need to either fully reread book 1 or read the synopsis that I sent you,
Same with me.
the big in-depth summary, because it's just such a big book. There's so much to remember, and it obviously does have some like intense world building.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited because that was one of my favorite reads of 2024, 25, 24, I think. I think it's 24 because Ballad was supposed to come out last year, wasn't it? It was pushed back.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So I really want to get to that. And then Knave and the Moon. Where is my Bartholomew? Here he is. I've literally got a jelly cat named after this book, guys. So if I don't read it as soon as it releases,
When is it releasing?
Next month, I think.
Okay.
Feel free to pester me if I don't read it ASAP. If you don't see me talking about it in September.
I feel like you will. I feel like it's one of those books that you're probably going to pick up as soon as it comes out.
And it's the perfect release time because it's gothic and it's coming out in autumn. So that's one. And then my other priority is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. And originally, when this released, I was like keen to read it, but I wasn't frothing at the mouth to get to it ASAP. Because even though I loved Addie LaRue, I didn't 5-star love it like a lot of people, or most people seem to. And I'd heard that although a lot of people were loving Bury Our Bones, it was a bit slow. But when I was building or starting to look at my autumn TBR for this year, which we can go into another time, I didn't realize it's vampires. And I love it's vampires, yeah. And I love vampires. And apparently it has really nice writing. So I'm hoping it's going to give Dowry of Blood vibes.
Okay, interesting. I'll be intrigued to see what you think of it. They're just the paperback just released, didn't it? It's stunning. Have you got,
I've
is that
got
what,
it.
do you have it?
Yeah,
It's nice.
I brought
The
it.
Waterstone sprayed edge one.
Yeah, I brought it myself for my birthday because it was so pretty. But yeah, that's my priorities. Whether we stick to them is a different question.
I think that two I'll definitely do. I can't imagine I won't do Daybreak, and I'm pretty sure I'll do Spark of the Everflame. I think the To Cage a Wild Bird is a definite maybe, but I just think it's whether what mood I'm in and when I want to read it kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Although I do feel like Dystopian is another one that is good for autumn because it has those kind of darker vibes again.
Yeah, that's true actually. And although not on my like huge priorities, special mention to what I do want to get to though, and that's a book called Legacy of the Heirs. I read the first book last year. Indie author Laura Carter, the first book's called Secrets of the Dead.
Yeah.
We did it for book club. The first book was so good. I think the only reason I didn't go straight on to the next book was maybe because of a different book club book, or there was something I had to get read because I remember thinking, oh, I really want to start this, but I can't.
Yeah.
And then it's one of those, fuck, I've started to forget everything that happened. But some parts of it, even now, bearing in mind, I probably read that first book I'm pretty sure it was in the summer. I can still like visually in my mind see parts of the book because it was just written so well, and it just felt very different to other things that were out there at the time. So I really, really want to get back to that series. A bit like Ballad of Fallen Dragon situation. It's I need to refresh my memory about what happened during book one. And obviously Laura is an indie author. The fan base is completely different to that of someone like Sarah A. Parker. So I need to try. It's unlikely I'm going to find a really good overview of the first book to read before going into the second book. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I need to do that.
That makes sense. I also have another special mention, which isn't on my 26 for 2026, but a big priority for me in September will be the Blood and Steel series. As you guys know, Tor absolutely loves that series and loves Helen. Is it Shura? Shura?
Sure. Yeah.
Shura? She loves Helen's overall body of work
OG
that
fan.
that she's read. So we are going to do an episode of the podcast for you where I pick a book for Tor to read, Tor picks something for me to read, and what she's picked for me is Blood and Steel. So I am excited to get to that because I don't feel like I've done many series or romantasy books that I've loved or enjoyed this year. So I'm excited for that.
And have you got anything that, first of all, I will give 50 sterling pounds if anyone can guess what book she's desperate for me to read that I'm going to be reading as my September book.
Unofficial giveaway.
Don't take me at my word for that, but no, it'll be funny to see if anyone can guess. And have you got any books that are on your 26 that you're actually just now like, nah, I don't actually think that they're even on my TBR? But definitely not on your priority TBR anymore.
Do you know what I have actually? So I've got a few. I won't go too much through them because we'll be here all day. But one that I'm not fussed about anymore is The Will of the Many. I read 50% of book one like last year, and I had a really hard time with it. Like I wasn't loving it like everyone else was. I was finding it quite slow, but I was also finding it really similar in vibes, not necessarily plot, but in vibes to Red Rising.
Okay.
And I don't know if it changes and it gets more dissimilar, but I just wasn't in the mood for something that was quite similar to that. And I've heard that a lot of people have also said book 2 is quite slow.
Okay.
So now I'm a bit like, it's definitely not on my priority list for this year. Whether I will read it next year or another point, I don't know. I might wait until my dad reads it and see what he thinks, because my dad's
I feel like it's so hard to get back into a book when you've stopped it halfway through.
I know. Yeah, I kind of shot myself in the foot with that.
Mm.
So maybe I'll just count it as a DNF. Another one is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom. Again, this one is actually not because I've started it or not because I don't have any interest in it anymore, but because they're publishing it traditionally now. One of them, I think, To Snap a Flame or Flower or something. What's it called?
To Snap a Silver Stem. That's the second book, and then you've got To Flame a Wild Flower is the third.
I'm mixing them together, but the third one has just come out in hardback. So because of that, I've decided to wait until they're all in paperback until I read them.
I don't actually know, because the book 3 is not the end of the series.
Okay.
The cliffhanger at the end of book 2 is like fucking crazy. And I decided not to go on to book 3 at the time. And I think I read those like 2 years ago. And I decided to pause because there was no announcement date for book 4 yet. She'd just been picked up traditionally for When the Moon Hatched at the time. So we knew that there was going to be even further delay. So with that series, I haven't looked into it for a little while, but I haven't seen any announcements either. When I finished the end of book 2, Celeste and Sam, who you guys might know from Instagram and TikTok and stuff, who are obsessed with these books, said to me, if you think that's bad, wait till the end of book 3.
Oh God.
I was like, I can't. If we don't even have a date for the next book yet, there's no point, because then I just get really frustrated. I'd rather be able to binge or at least read them close together. A bit like, I'm so glad I waited for Shield of Sparrows and Rights of the Starling, and now I only have to wait until March next year to get like the final book. So I would definitely say it's a great one to read. Like, I really enjoyed it. I've only read the first 2 books, but I think definitely it's like one of those wait until we've got them all, because you could be waiting another 2 years for, it's like that series that we love, The Hollow Heathens, Bone Island. We still have nothing about any more books, but she's still writing, because I saw that she's got a new release coming out soon, and I'm like, well, when are we getting the next one of that?
Yeah, she's released two. So she's done this like mini duology that's dark romance or something, side B and side A or something. Anyway, yeah,
Sorry, such a detour, guys.
that way. But it's all bookish. That's what they're here for. Yeah, and then otherwise, the only other one that I'm like, definitely not reading this year is The Wolf King. Again, not because I'm not interested in it, but just because I've seen such mixed things on book two. I don't want anything to further make me slumpy this year.
Yes.
So I might as well wait until next year and give it a fair shot and not risk another slump that stops me reading anything at all now that I'm finally
It's the
back to
type
reading.
of thing that you could potentially like, because that The Wolf King, I actually picked that up on a complete whim, mood reader type vibes, like bang in autumn. I'm pretty sure it was like dark nights. I was like, I just want something like fantasy, but like easy and cozy, not actually cozy because it's fairly high stakes. But when you're just like, I wanted something like moody with romance, but like in a fantasy world, and because it's all like kind of supposed to be in Scotland, I think it kind of felt like that perfect. Oh, this sounds perfect to read right now. So you might kind of get the mood for it at some point and see how you feel about it, to be fair. I don't
Yeah.
think that you'll like it.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what I do think because you think I won't like it. Amy thinks I will. And again, guys at home, we might as well just get Amy on the podcast at this point because we mention her or her recommendations literally every episode. But
Oh my God, we should so have that on one day as a guest. That would be so much fun.
we should.
Our third autistic little triplet.
But yeah, it would be interesting to see what I think. Maybe I'll read it over Christmas or something when I've got like quite a lot of time and then I can do like an update on here. But what about you? What's no longer a priority, if anything at all?
Let me show you in my little notebook. So, what I am not asked about reading anymore, we've already kind of touched on this. Fury Bound, just have no desire to read it. I probably will. I'm not saying I'm DNFing the series because I really enjoyed book one. It would make no sense for me to not at least try, but I just have no like pull towards it at the moment. The other book, which I feel like people are going to kill me for, is A Language of Dragons. I don't really know why. I think that there's something about this year, for whatever reason, I'm not pulled towards YA at all at the moment. Just have absolutely zero interest in reading any YA at the moment.
Yeah.
So those are my two that I'm not particularly fussed about. The other one, which like you, it's not that it's not on my TBR anymore, but is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I tried to read it not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I just could not get into it. But I know that I felt exactly the same when I read, because when I read the Dragon Keeper series, which is 4 books in one of this kind of like huge Robin Hobb world, I did not know that these were all set in the same universe and you should kind of like start at the beginning. But I know when I read the first Dragon Keeper book, I was like, it took me ages to get into it. But I just, for now, it's just not where I'm at in my reading preferences at the moment. So I still would like to read her books at some point, but it's just not a priority.
Yeah, that makes sense. I had the same experience with that book, read 20%, wasn't that invested. Think I'm going to do the same as you and come back to it at a different time. Just whenever the mood strikes me for high fantasy, maybe I'll give it another go. But yeah, that is everything, right? On our 2026 for 20. I can't say it, guys. That is everything on our 26 for 2026 that we wanted to update you on. We felt like this was the perfect kind of way to wrap up season 3. Obviously, we haven't had that many like really in-depth reading update episodes, largely because I've been so slumpy. I think we did one near the beginning of the series, but we just thought it'd be good to update. But we're gonna be back before you even know it We normally take off all of summer, as you guys know, but we've gone over summer with season 3 and we'll be back before you know it with season 4. And we'll have some exciting news in season 4 as well. So you better tune in to episode 1 when it drops.
You look like such I don't even know what that face was there, but I was like, oh, she looks like she's going to tell these guys off.
A teacher.
That is actually the look that she gives my kids when they're doing something cheeky.
It's like a... But
yeah,
yes.
people just listening have no idea what we're talking about right now, but that's okay. Yes, so we will be back soon. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, let us know what you're loving, and we will be back very soon.
Bye.